So I'm finally getting around to making a video about the latch hook method for doll hair. So anyone who's been looking at my Coraline Doll pattern wondering what the heck is the latch hook method, this is the video for you. First thing you want to do is make Coraline a wig cap using the same pattern that you use for her head but with blue instead of beige. I went to about round 12 on this one, but it kind of depends. Sometimes it turns out a little different. You just want to keep trying it on her until it looks how you want it to. You want to make sure you do her face before you put on the hair because the hair is going to hide knots and things used from sewing on her face, and so you don't want those to show. And once you sew on the hair, it's going to be a lot harder to hide those. Next, we're going to cut a bunch of strands of yarn that are approximately twice the length you want the hair to be. For Coraline, this is about to her chin, but I'm going to make it a little bit longer so that I can trim it. It's good to cut one piece and then use it as a guideline for all the others. Once you have a lot of those, we're going to take our yarn needle and thread the yarn through like this. You want to have a needle with a pretty big eye, otherwise it's hard to get enough of the yarn through. Next, we're going to take our doll and find about where we want the side part of our hair to start, like this part. So that's going to be like about right here, right in front of her ear. We're going to insert the needle into that stitch, pull it through, and then you can take the needle off here. We're just going to stick the ends of the yarn through the loop and pull it tight. And then we're going to keep doing that all the way around until you get back to this side. So again, make sure you don't pull your loops all the way through. It might be easier to take the wig cap off to do this part. Just whatever you think is easier. Just make sure you don't sew or put loops all the way around where her face is going to be. So you might have to keep trying it on to check that. Now that she's got hair all the way around, we can sew that hair to her head. Start on the inside and make sure to hide the knot. And then we're just going to sew with a running stitch. Now to finish off the hair, we're just going to tie a small knot right under the edge here. And then to hide the thread, we're just going to run it up and under her hair. And then pull it through. And then we're just going to clip it right there. Next, we're going to add hair to the top of her head so that it looks more like hair and less like an octopus just sitting on top of her head. So I've cut some longer strands, and we're going to choose a place for her part to be. Coraline has kind of asymmetric hair, so we want it to be closer to this side, like right about there. So we're going to thread our needle the same way as before. And then look at where her part's going to be, and stick the needle under that stitch in pretty much the same way as we did when we were going around the edge. Okay, and we are going to pull the ends through the loop in the same way as well. Now the direction that you run the needle through is going to be the opposite from the way that you want your hair to go. So we ran it through this way, and this hair will go this way, and then when we're ready to do the other side, we'll go through the other way. The way the stitch comes out just helps it lie flatter that way. So you want to keep going back along that part line until the hair starts to fall over the back of the head like this. Now we're going to do the other side, and then I'll show you how to do the back of the hair. So the other side's just the same thing, but going the opposite way along the part line. So now that we've taken this side back about as far as the other one, we're going to do loops just straight down the back. You have to start in the middle, and you always want to make sure the tops of the loops when you finish are hidden under this part of the head. Now once you've got the hair all the way around, the last thing you have to do is give her a trim. So that's the latch hook method. You can use this for any doll, not just Coraline. Just change the wig cap to fit the pattern for the doll's head, and then change the length or color of the hair and where you put the part, and that's it.